You know, I'm just starting my channel out, and I see all these channels, and they're like all like professionally made TV shows, shit. But recovery and addiction isn't all TV show and, pretty and lighted and makeup, and it's tears and crying and family and figuring out what you're supposed to do. But what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to take care of your recovery first. My recovery is supposed to come first. Okay? My recovery is supposed to come first. But I have such a hard time with that because, there's so much going on. When you're a mom, I don't know how mom, dad, because dads, there's single dads out there. It doesn't matter. Mom, dad, grandma, whatever. You, you gotta put it first. And I'm sitting here in the car and I'm like, I gotta put myself first. Once I walk in that house, it's gonna be not me first. So how do I put myself first? We admitted we were powerless over drugs or alcohol, or inject your problem here. I feel powerless over my life sometimes. It's insane. I'm so glad to go to a meeting tonight. So glad. And I'll put my lipstick on and I'll be okay. I'll fake it till I make it. It's just hard to do. When you've had a chunk of time behind you at one point, and you're like, oh, I was 5 years without doing drugs or alcohol, and I was on the Suboxone program, and my credit scores in August of 2015 were all three in the 700s, and I was living in this house that was across the street, and I'll have to do a video, and we were renting it, and it was a junky piece of junk in this beautiful, beautiful house across the street. I used to wash the dishes, and I said every day for 3 years, I'm gonna get that house. And my son Brian, the one that is in a wheelchair now, he was like, you ain't getting shit. And I said, I'm going to get that house. And, buddy, I got online and I just started working, learning everything I could about credit. What does this? What does that? And I got my credit scores up into the 700s and went to the HUD first time home buyers program and finally built up 3 credit references that I could use. And, oh my goodness, okay, HUD says, okay, now it's time to apply for this loan, and once you get the loan, you'll get a grant to help, fix up the house. And I was like, oh man, and I put the application in, and I had about 5 years, but I was still in treatment. I kept going to treatment. I've always been in treatment, AA, NA, and then, it all gets taken away in, like, one day. So, I deal with it. And, so many consequences. Why didn't that happen to me? My son was 19 years old, and he had just graduated, and his best friend was 18, and, here he was just going for a ride down the road, and I think about all the acts. I've been in 14 car accidents that I caused, and when I was messed up, when I was on, drugs and driving. 14 car accidents. Didn't hurt anybody. Didn't hurt myself, didn't hurt anybody. Why did that happen to me? Why didn't that happen to me instead? I mean, isn't that the way karma should go? It's hard to keep a relationship with a higher power when you don't understand and you try to figure out how the world works. And not everything happens for a reason. It doesn't. Bad shit happens to good people, good shit happens to bad people, and it's just the roll of the dice. We don't know. But what I do know is that today I've got to try to stay sober. And I don't know how many of you guys out there are feeling the same way, but, I still got into my house. I didn't get the loan, but the homeowner did a land contract, so I still got into my home. Barely holding on to it. Trying to fix life. And you know what? It'll never be fixed because every time you fix something, there's going to be something else. So, today I just thank my higher power for helping me get out of the bed and helping me to maybe talk and help somebody else, because this is some hard shit. And I don't care if you are in any kind of medication assisted treatment, whatever, use it as a crutch, but go to treatment. Do what you gotta do. If I've been in treatment now for like 13 years straight. Do what you gotta do. Fake it till you make it. But it will not help you unless you are in treatment. Unless you're in recovery, working those steps. Get a sponsor and use them and go to meetings, and talk. Set boundaries. It's hard to do. And I slip back. And I slip back and I'm like, shit. What am I gonna do? Not slip as like drugs, but just slip back. You have to think and you gotta project that out. Like right now, I got a really shitty attitude. I feel like shit. I don't want to go around people like this because it rubs off, it spreads around, and it's a chain reaction. Alright guys, well, I don't know if anybody's watching or liking my videos or sharing them or subscribing, but I'm still going to keep making them because you know what? It helps me, and if it helps one addict out there, then that's great. Peace. I'll put some lipstick on later and have a talk about higher power. Higher power and working the steps. Have a good afternoon.